Good afternoon, folks. Big Bo here with another great mini Class A value from Parkway RV Center. Folks, it's always a treat when I get to do one of these safari treks. You know, it's been a while since I've had one. I had one about 2 months ago, and it sold in less than 48 hours. And I believe this one's actually nicer. It's an older motorhome now, so it may not be for everybody. These Treks, they don't make them anymore. They're built by Safari, very high quality. This thing new was as much as many of the bigger Class A diesels. And this one right here is in excellent condition, but now it is a 1997 model. 1997 Trek 24B model number. It's 25 foot long bumper to bumper, making it a very small Class A. You know, these things right here, if you were given an unlimited budget to build the strongest, most durable, small Class A that you could buy with the least amount of maintenance, this is what you would have came up with. Like I said, these things back in '97 were over $100,000 new, and there was a waiting list back then for them. This one's built on a P30 chassis. It's got the 454 V8, Vortec V8, 290 horsepower. Now, they also made this in a diesel, but now back then, if you remember, GM had that 6.5 diesel that did not have the best track record. Only had 190 horsepower. This has actually got the bigger engine, the 7.4 liter Vortec 454 gas engine, 290 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque, which in the diesel was about 60 pound-feet of torque less and 100 horsepower less. So you're definitely going to appreciate the power that this motorhome has. And it's a little motorhome, folks, 25 feet long. And these things have developed an almost cult-like following. I cannot tell you how many emails and phone calls I got from the last Trek video I did a couple of months ago. And that was the first one of these. 2 months ago, that last one I had was the first one I could have got a hold of in over 2 years. And you're talking about Parkway RV Center, folks. We go through 600 plus RVs a year. So the fact that it took us 2 years between finding them and then found this one only 2 months after selling the last one is very, very rare. And the way we got this one is this, you know, this isn't nothing that came from the auction. This was a trade-in at a new RV dealership. And folks, a lot of new RV dealers don't sell used. And we are in real good because we've been in business 49 years. We're in very, very good with some of the new RV dealers. And the people that own this thing traded it in on a $300,000 brand new Tiffin diesel motorhome. So they definitely upgraded. They've owned this for several years. It's in phenomenal condition considering it's 20 years old. We got a 4 kW Awning generator, gasoline generator that runs great. It's got a 1,000-watt inverter. It's got hydraulic leveling jacks. And one thing that's kind of unique to the Safari Treks is they're all aluminum. They designed them to kind of copy aircrafts. So they put riveted aluminum instead of fiberglass like on most campers. So you get a couple of advantages. Well, the disadvantage is with aluminum, these things cost a lot more to build. So when this thing was new, it cost a lot more than other brands. But that's the only disadvantage to it. The advantages to it, step back and look at the shine and the condition of the stripes and finish. That's because aluminum is that smooth aluminum exterior is such a better platform to put stripes and finish on and paint. It's going to look newer for decades longer than fiberglass. The second advantage of aluminum over fiberglass exterior, 100% no delamination. Just like airplanes, folks, they rivet these on instead of glue. You've got rivets here, rivets here, rivets here, rivets at the bottom, rivets there, and rivets at the top. It's got a peaked aluminum roof to match the outside here. So you've got very, very little maintenance you have to worry about up top. And because there's no glue involved, you have no delamination. And delamination, folks, I wish I had one I could show you, but I don't have one here with delam. But Delamination is when they put fiberglass sides on the side of campers, like 99% of the other motorhomes out there. And what it is when water and or heat gets to that glue that attaches the fiberglass to the Luan backer board, that glue loses cohesions and you get bubbles that come out. Some of them worse than others. There's nothing you can do about it. You can fix it, make it look a little better, but in the end it's just going to come right back. So the advantage of this aluminum coach versus fiberglass is you never have to worry about that. If you take care of this thing's going to be on the road 20 years from now. 20 years from now, if you keep it covered, keep it clean, keep it waxed, it's going to look just as good as it does right now. That is the benefit of the aluminum siding over fiberglass. And I wish that more RV manufacturers would offer that option, but they don't because it costs so much. You know, these are very, very popular because they're so easy to drive and park. It's only 4 foot longer than an F-150 pickup truck, but you get so much more room. And this is something that, you know, it's not going to kill you on gas either. That 454 engine is going to tow up to 5,000 pounds behind it. It's going to give you more than enough power for today's modern interstates and mountains and stuff like that without slowing everybody else down. And be honest with you folks, if you can't run 65, 70 miles an hour or have a vehicle that can run 65, 70 or 75, you're going to get run over when you go through the big cities by big trucks and everything else. So you don't have to drive that fast, but you need to be able to have the ability to drive that fast when traffic conditions demand it. Because if not, folks, you're going to cause an accident or cause somebody to rear end you or sideswipe you. I mean, I've seen it happen too many times when I used to deliver RVs for a living, folks. You know, most of the time with RVs, 60, 65, right lane, you're normally fine, but you get around Atlanta, Nashville, New York, or any of the big cities, you're going to definitely have to have that extra get up and go to get up to speed, because even the big trucks run that fast. And that's what I like about this particular motor versus the 6.5 diesel that they used to put in these, which was a great motor, but it was very weak. This one right here has a lot of power. In fact, they put this same motor, and it's got the 4-speed Chevrolet transmission, the hydrostatic transmission. It's the same motor and transmission they put in 36, 38-foot buses. So you've definitely got the power, you've got the towing capacity to do whatever you want to do. Now, it does have a power step. Let's take a look inside. And I just can't get over the fact this thing's 20 years old. And thanks to this aluminum siding and the way the previous owners cared for it, it looks as nice as some of the 2010s and 11 models I have on our lot right now. But as we step inside, I'm going to show you some nice premium features about it. First of all, that's hardwood, folks. That's not linoleum, it's not Pergo floor, whatever you want to call it. That's real solid hardwood floors put in from the factory. Deep plush carpet, solid wood cabinets. Like I said, this thing was 6 figures back in 1997. And as much money as that sounds like it is now, 20 years ago, that was a whole lot more money than it is now. The dash air does work. It's got 91,000 miles on it. Folks, I've driven this coach. These people have owned it for years. They pretty much toured the country with it. Folks, this thing's got decades of life left to it. No check engine lights, no warning lights. I've got the parking brake light on right now. Folks, don't let that bother you at all. I mean, when you break it down, 20 years into 91,000 miles, that's just a few thousand miles a year. Well below average. 91,331 miles. Got the leveling jack system. Got the HD TV upgrade. Got speakers. Got a great looking windshield. Has one little rock peck that you probably can't even see on the camera. Right there. And when you're sitting down on the driver's seat, because remember I drove this one, you don't see it because it's behind the dash. And and it's probably been there for years, and it has been filled in by my windshield repair guys, so it's not going to crack. But like I said, I sell so many of these things sight unseen, folks. I don't want to make nobody mad over a little rock peck in a windshield that doesn't hurt a thing. So I'm letting you know about it. You've got a sofa that makes a bed. You've got a fold-up table, and this table does have an extra leaf, so you can go farther out with it if you want to. You've got 2 chairs. It's got the magic bed, which is a queen bed that lowers down from the roof, goes down where you can crawl in it, and that is a actual house-size queen bed. So 2 people can sleep comfortably, and you can also put 2 on the sofa bed too, and just raise this bed up a little bit. You do have a walk-through kitchen, stainless steel sink, microwave, convection oven. You've got ice-cold air conditioner, solid wood cabinetry. Everything in this thing is premium quality. I mean, even this door right here, the privacy door, solid wood. Got an 8 cubic foot Norcold refrigerator freezer that's actually newer, that's been replaced. And it looked like the generator's newer too. It's got a 4 kW micro light Onan generator. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the boxed in generator. And if I'm not mistaken, that was not available in 1997. So obviously the people have spent a lot of money upgrading this thing and keeping everything in peak condition. Huge rear bathroom. And I like this, folks. This reminds me of the floor plans of the late 70s motorhomes that had that huge rear bathroom. I mean, this thing for a motorhome is one of the largest bathrooms you're going to get. And I like how they put the etched glass. And another thing you may not know, if you go back to the video on the outside, that picture on the back is they actually commission an artist, and every one of the pictures on the back of every Trek is different. Some of them you have to kind of look, because some of them will be similar, but they always put difference because they're all one of a kind. And that's actually a signed artist that they commissioned to put that picture on the back. So don't ever paint over that. I know some people do, and that's ruining an artwork, somebody's artwork right there. That's not a print, that's not a stripe, that's actually painted by an artist on the back. And I'm sure that wasn't cheap either. Big closet. That's just the advantage of this big bathroom. You get a lot of storage. And you know, 25-foot motorhomes, you usually don't get a lot of storage. In usually 25-foot motorhomes, you get a little bitty bathroom. But because the way these Treks are, they're designed to have that magic bed that lowers down from the ceiling instead of a rear bedroom. They can devote the whole 25-foot to comfortable living space. So you've got 25 foot of living space versus 15 foot if it had a rear bedroom in the back. So you get a lot of extra space thanks to this particular floor plan. And like I said, folks, it's not for everybody. These Treks, like I said, they have a cult following. There's people that collect these things. People treat them like they do the Airstream campers. They strip them out, completely redo them, customize them, and everything else. I mean, so I've seen pictures on the internet, folks. Darndest thing I've ever seen. These Treks. And they didn't make that many of them because they were so expensive. You can buy, back in 1997, you could buy a lot bigger motorhome for what you spent on this. Now, it may not have been the quality construction motorhome that this particular one has, but you could buy a diesel motorhome, a 36, 37-foot diesel motorhome, and usually with a slide, for about what this thing cost when it was new, back then. And nobody has anything else like it today. I guess the Axis that become popular are the closest thing to it, but even those aren't near the quality construction that this Safari was. These were built up in Oregon. They were very well insulated, even have dual pane windows. Now you may notice a couple of the windows have that streak in it. That's very common because when these double pane windows, they use a nitrogen gas in between the window panes to help insulate it. And as it gets several years old, those seals break down and do that. It doesn't affect the visibility. They're not clouded. You can see perfectly fine out of them. Those are very, very expensive to fix. You know, you're talking a couple of $1,000s to fix those. and it's got them on 3 or 4 of the windows. I just want to make you aware of it because, folks, that does not affect the functionality, so that is not covered in our standard checkout. And yes, folks, even though this is a 20-year-old motorhome, we're still going to do our major systems check that will be completed after purchase. And that system check includes, but not limited to, the driving, the generator, the inverter, the awning. We'll make sure all that's perfect, it works great. You know, anything we find wrong on that checklist, we're going to make sure it works before you pick it up. Even if we have to replace it, even if we have to replace major components, we're going to do it without going up on the price 1 cent. It's going to include the, we're going to, of course, make sure the magic bed works. We're going to make sure all the lights work, drawers, cabinets. We're going to make sure refrigerator works on gas and electric, your oven, your LP system, your furnace, your water heater. It's got a microwave convection oven combo. We're going to make sure that works. All your vent fans work. We're going to make sure all your outside compartments, your power step works. We're going to make sure, Lord have mercy, I mean, it's pretty much everything. We're going to make sure your jacks work, your toilet, sinks, water system, spigots, faucets, all that stuff. We're going to make sure it works, and if it doesn't, we're going to repair it before you pick it up, and that's included for the price. Folks, I want you to get online and Google 1997 240B Safari Treks. First of all, you're not going to find any. You may find 1 or 2 other different floor plans, but there is just so few of these on the internet. I found, in this price range, I found 5 online, and 2 of them already had sold wrote on them. This unit's $24,900, and it's a nice unit. This is actually something, folks, that's going to hold its value, and this may even possibly be one because of the short supply and high demand for these things for the people that are familiar with them. This is maybe like a classic car and go up in value. I can't promise that, but if there was ever one that would go up in value, it would be one of these because of how rare they are to find. And apparently what I've been reading on the forums and all that, this is the most popular floor plan, that rear bath. Of all the Treks out there, this is the most popular floor plan. So, 25 foot long, folks, anybody can drive 25 foot motorhome. If you can't drive a 25 foot motorhome, folks, you don't need to be on the road in a car if you can't drive a 25 foot motorhome. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to it. Anybody that's passed their driver's license test can drive this. Like I said, if you can't drive this motorhome, folks, you don't need to be on the road in anything, period. They're that easy to drive. I've driven this when I drove it down a couple of exits and back. I ran 70 miles an hour. Just hits the road just like it's supposed to. It's smooth, shifts good, good power. Just a neat little motorhome. And this is something, it may be 2 years before I have another one. I've been very, very fortunate to have 2 of these in 2 months. And this is one of those things, folks, if I run into another one, I'm going to buy it. I don't care if it's 3,000 miles away. I can justify going to pick it up and buying it, bringing it back here to resell because they're so rare. It's in very nice condition. Like I said, these folks that had this were experienced RV owners. They've had it for several years. They traded in on a $300,000 diesel motorhome. But like I said earlier, a lot of new dealers now don't sell used. They don't want to have to refurbish them. They don't want to have to pay techs to go through them. They just, what they do is they call us when they have a trade-in, somebody wanting to trade in. We'll give them a figure of what we'll pay for it if it's in the condition that they describe it. And if they trade for it, they sell it to us for that. That's how it works. That's how we get a lot of inventory. When you've been in business 49 years like we have, you've got connections everywhere. And this allows us to get these RVs at a great deal, which we can pass along to you. This is something that you're not going to find at your neighborhood family RV dealership. This is something that, like the last one we had, the people came down from Canada and bought. That last Trek we had. Because you can't find them. And of course, you know, anything you buy up in Canada or up north's a rust bucket anyway. That's why so many northern customers come here to the south to buy. This is a southern motorhome. It's clean. It's not going to last long. We drove it almost 500 miles in here from North Florida, from the dealership that traded for it. You're not going to be disappointed. When you see this, the first person that sets eyes and sets foot in this motorhome, that knows what these are and sees it, and the first person that knows what these are and then has the ability to buy one of these, they're going to stroke a check, folks. They're going to pay for it once they see it. When they see how clean this thing is for the price in the year model, and they know how rare these are, they're going to buy it. So don't procrastinate or wait to the last minute. This thing's not going to make it to the end of the eBay auction, so don't think you can swoop in at the last minute and bid on it and buy it, because it's probably going to sell in a couple of days like the last one did. In fact, it'll probably sell to one of the people that we're going to call back and tell them that we have another one, but they said to call them if we did get another one. So this video may not even make it. This unit may not even make it to eBay, because I'm going to put it on YouTube first, and it'll be sometime tomorrow before it shows up on eBay, just to let everybody else have a chance to buy it before we pay to list it on eBay, RV Trader, and the 20 plus different websites we use. The price is $24,900. That's a haggle-free price, including the inspection, including a walkthrough by the certified RV tech that checked it out. You're also going to get starter kit, instructional DVDs. You're also going to get a 45-day temporary tag. For $24,900, that's a haggle-free price, but it's also out the door. There's no extra sales fees. There's no acquisition fees, no dock fees, no prep fees, no freight fees. There's no tag and title fees. There's no processing fees, no corporate fees. All those fees these other dealers charge you, which amount to thousands of dollars in some cases, are all 100% dealer profit. Don't fall victim to them. You know, these units are priced to sell. We've sold to buyers from all 50 states, including multiple sales to Alaska and Hawaii. We've sold over 2,500 units to Canadian buyers from coast to coast. We've sold them in Italy, England, Australia, the Netherlands, and more. I mean, these things have been everywhere, folks. We sell our RVs all over the country, all over the world, because of our prices. We're one of the largest, oldest, and most successful independently owned used RV dealerships in the United States today. We're the oldest independently owned used RV dealership in Georgia. We have over 170 used RVs in stock, lowest prices on the internet. We sell 500 to 600 units a year, folks. We do that because we're straightforward. We show you the good with the bad. We tell you what we're going to do for the price you pay. We don't haggle prices, because we're already competing against thousands of other RV dealers that post their inventory online. And if our prices weren't the lowest, our phones wouldn't ring, and our email boxes would be empty, and our lots would be empty, and we wouldn't be selling 600 units a year, which obviously is not the case. We have the lowest price on the internet because internet shoppers use Google. They price other units, the same make and model units. They get the out-the-door price. They compare prices. They do their homework, and that's the way we like it, because that just makes us look better. Because when I say we have the lowest prices, I mean it. No commission salespeople. That means no games, no gimmick, no high-pressure sales tactics, no drama, no trouble. We have procedures. When we sell these things, like I said, we check these things out after we sell them, because obviously I have 170 units in stock, so that means that I have to hire, if I had to check everything before I sold it, I have to hire about 20 RV techs. Those guys don't work for cheap, folks. They're the best paid. At any RV dealership you go to, the RV tech makes more money even over the managers, and they know it. So, you know, I can't afford to hire 20 RV techs without having a substantial increase on my prices. So the fact is, you have to wait a little bit for your RV is saving you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, because the less overhead I have, the less markup I have to have. That's why you go to these big corporate dealers that sponsor NASCAR that spend millions of dollars a year on advertising in different forums. that have billboards and multiple stores, folks, all those expenses create higher overhead. That's why their prices are so much higher than ours. That's why they charge thousands of dollars in fees, which are all 100% dealer profit, because of the way they operate. And we keep costs down. I could easily ask $29,900, $32,900, even $34,900 for this motorhome if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I price these things to sell because we have to keep these things moving in and out. That's how we stay in business. We don't make as much money on each one of these, but we sell more. Like my grandfather said, we make our dollar with 10 dimes instead of 4 quarters. You know, these things, they go quick, they're hard to come by, and they're very easy to sell. So keep that in mind. It may be years before I have another Trek. And I look for these things to go up in value before they go down. Thank you for watching, folks. Now keep in mind, this is a 1997. You'll have to check with my finance department. They may or may not get limited financing on this RV because of the year model. I would recommend going to your bank or credit union, see what they can do for you before you call us. I don't think many of the nationwide lenders are going to finance a 20-year-old motorhome. I may be mistaken, but I don't believe many of them will have much financing, if any, available, because they go by the year model more than the price. So please check with your bank or credit union, or you can give us a call. You can apply for credit right from our website. I can't guarantee you I can get you approved on this because of the year model. We'll try. We'll let you know what they say, and just keep that in your back pocket. You may have to go to your bank or credit union to get financing. Of course, the people that buy these Treks, because they're such a collectible item, they're cash buyers. Every Trek I've ever had was sold for cash or trade. So I'm not really worried about that, but if you do need to finance it, like I said, check with your bank or credit union. That way there's no surprises. Thank you for watching my video. Any questions, you can call us at 706-965-7929 or 423-605-6747. Thank you for watching.